Okay, Edwards Air Force Base.
I think they're giving a presentation.
Very much.
Not yet.
Okay. Not yet.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ed Buclatin. I'm the Director of Public Affairs for Edwards Air Force Base, and I appreciate the board allowing me to speak. With me today is Steve Zapka, call sign Zap, who is the new Community Engagement Chief, relieving Dennis Schaffner, who recently retired last week. Yeah. So a little bit about myself. I've been in the position for about a year. Originally retired from the U.S. Navy after 26 years. Former E-2 Hawkeye Naval Flight Officer in the backseat, and then 20 years as a Navy Public Affairs Officer, now an Air Force Civilian Public Affairs Officer. So one of the things that's coming up, and this is probably one of the biggest events that we've had in recent history, is that this year is the 70th birthday of the U.S. Air Force. What makes this Antelope Valley area special is that all the supersonic records known in history up to 6.72 Mach by Steve Knight were all done on Edwards Air Force Base. So we're celebrating that with a big event. And next slide, would you? Pete Knight. So today's agenda, for the next 10 minutes, we'll talk about my focus areas, the marketing calendar, and the concept of operations that we have lined up for this awesome event that we're trying to get the entire community involved. So our first and foremost priority is STEM outreach with the elementary school, the high schools in the area. We're honoring the developmental test team to include Chuck Yeager, who may or may not be participating. He's 94 years old this year, so this could be the time that he's not actually in there, but we are looking at folks from Washington, D.C. to come out. Significant community involvement, meaning we're trying to get community leaders, as many folks in the community out to Edwards Air Force Base, short of actually a big air show. Trying to get entertainment from the entertainment industry, aerospace industry involvement, but first and foremost for everyone that comes on board the base, to make this a cool, fun, and memorable experience for everybody. So for marketing, for those on social media that are active on that, we're using hashtag 70SSF, providing a lot of cool things. This is our website. From now and through August, we're doing a lot of engagement with all local communities. We've already spoken to Lone Pine, Mojave, we're going to hit Lancaster, Palmdale soon, and of course Rosamond, which is near and dear to my heart because I come through the city every day coming into work. September, October is when we plan to release our infographic and do a lot of significant media engagements to roll out a very cool event. So this is the planning calendar. The first 2 weeks in October are pretty much what we've got lined up. It's going to kick off with the 3rd of October, which is the 50th anniversary of when Pete Knight broke 6.72 Mach, which is still the world record for the fastest man in the aircraft. Also, we're having, for those of you that have access to the base, we have our History Museum connecting open house. And the 13th of October is when our event takes place. For the most part, and then the 14th of October is our Run with History, which we'll talk about later. But during these 2 weeks also, we're going to do significant STEM outreach in the local community to not only talk about potential careers at Edwards Air Force Base, but also engineering, and then talk about capabilities that we have on the base. So very quickly, the concept of operations. We're going to have a Team Edwards and Family Day where we're going to roll out pretty much every single aircraft that we have on Edwards Air Force Base for everyone to see that have access to the base. Unfortunately, due to security posture, we can only allow those folks that only have base access to get there. So retirees, folks that currently work on the base, so on and so forth. We are conducting an anniversary ceremony around noon during the 11 o'clock news hour. Potentially, we're for the most part going to have our 4-star General Polakowski come out. We're also looking at the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, Secretary of the Air Force come out. The current NASA administrator is coming out with his entourage. And we'll be broadcasting that live too for those of you that can't access it. And then we have our birthday ball rescheduled to take place that day. On that Saturday, TV, our partner, is also going to broadcast it live on Channel 23 and then out to their affiliates, 50 affiliates nationwide. So kind of cool event. This is just the early stages. Air Force Birthday Ball, for those of you that have access. Again, rescheduled event that's looking at the evening of the 13th of October from 5 to midnight. Formal event. Right now we're looking at, like I said, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, Senior NASA Administrator coming out with more of the same to celebrate 70 years of awesomeness in the Air Force. And as I mentioned before, we're celebrating the legacy at Edwards Air Force Base with all these records broken at Edwards, including Pete and I's 50th anniversary 6.72 Mach. Okay, this is the rough layout. One of the cool things is that looking at bringing an SR-71 in for display and for taking pictures during the event. And last but not least is the Run with History, typically held during the spring time frame. Gates will be open from 7 to 2 for folks to run either a 5K, 10K, or a half marathon. There's the information there. And I'll provide the slides if you guys are interested. These are the routes in the dry lake bed. A lot of coolness and the ability to run by all these aircraft as well as on the historic dry lake bed. This is the half marathon route, more of the same with that. And these are the point of contacts. And if you have interest in participating or coming on the base, that's my information there. If you're looking at actually doing something to showcase Rosamond, Master Sergeant Washington is there as well to take that. With that said, any questions for me? Yes, sir.
Since it's the 70th anniversary of the United States Thunderbirds, going to be there since it's such a big event.
Unfortunately, they will not be. It's not an airship. It's not an airship. So they'll still participate in the Fox Field Air Show, like they always do, but not for this particular
They
event.
used to come to Edwards all the time, and this is a big
Sure.
event. How come they're not here?
This is not an airship.
Because it's not an airship. It's not an airship. The intent originally when we rolled this out was for the folks just on Edwards Air Force Base to keep it low key. If we raise it to Thunderbird level, it would require a whole new dynamic, and more than likely our event would have been shut down. So I'm trying to keep it so that we can keep it all within the family, which includes Rosamond.
Excuse me?
You know, out of all that stuff you mentioned, the one thing that really impacts Rosamond the most is that flyover. So what day was that again, and about what time can they expect it?
13th of October, it'll be sometime after 11 o'clock.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, which is also the 242nd birthday of U.S. Navy.
Able to take care of business and fill all these great jobs. So that's what we're trying to do.
There's, if you go to the base's public website, www.edwards.fm, there and start prowling around, you can see that there is an entry for the base has a STEM coordinator. All of a sudden I can't remember the guy's name.
Umberto?
Yeah, Umberto. And if you contact his number, his email address is all there on the website. If you contact him, he can arrange for speakers to come out to the schools. Many of the tour guides that we have for the STEM tours are engineers on the base.
Yeah, real fast, I'll get with you in a second. But yeah, I'm teaming with Umberto, and we're looking at some different ideas leading up to this event. Similar to that cockpit thing, we're exploring ideas of possibly doing that and beaming it live to schools and things like that. We're looking at all those opportunities to get kids interested in this innovation and what we do at Edwards and the Air Force in general. Yes,
Does it
sir.
only have to be schools? A friend of mine has a rocketry club.
No, that's good too.
Yeah, and he hosts workshops at his house. He's got a huge facility where they build rockets, and he's going for this next level of rocketry and all that stuff. Would that be something that you guys could come in and give a presentation when he's doing one of his workshops? Or I mean, does it have to be?
That's all feasible. I'll leave my card around.
And he's done that before.
Yeah, and he's done that
I'll
before.
pass on the information to get a hold of Umberto and my buddy, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
Right, and that'll work fine. And we also do general public tours. So I'm in charge of all the tours on base. So if anybody ever wants to come on a tour of Edwards, you can get a hold of us on our base website. It has all the the information there to take to take the general public tours. And we also do large group tours. If you have a large group, 15 or more, we can fit you into our schedule. So that's great because it's you guys that need to see what's going on right next door. Because a lot of people have forget about Edwards and the huge economic impact it brings to the local area.
I don't. I work for all the people.
See, Dennis, you just thought you retired. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best tour guide they ever had just recently retired. And some ways I can stay in.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just curious, what age group are you focusing on to start the STEM program? Because I know it's starting at the schools, but is it 5th grade, 6th grade?
Some of the stuff we're looking at, there's, what are we doing, space? What's the new space thing we're looking at?
Yes, so to that point really quickly, have you all heard about the new museum that they're looking at groundbreaking here?
Yes.
So it turns out that the Flight Test Historical Foundation is looking at doing the groundbreaking. Originally it was going to be October, it's going to be in the springtime frame, but as part of that, they are going to be working with Washington DC to establish that museum to be a star base. Right now, the only other star base I'm aware of is in Los Alamitos, and there's a backlog. So we're looking at making that a star base, meaning that they will do outreach with 5th graders, which is apparently the STEM starting point. And then every week, we cycle new schools coming through that. So that's going to be a huge boon, not only for the STEM community, but for the Aerospace Valley in general. Right now, it's on base. But when they do the groundbreaking, it's going to be where
Century
Circle is, over here on the West Gate, which is
Rosamond.
So you won't have to go past the garden to get to it.
Yeah, so everyone will have access, and it will probably increase the traffic flow coming through.
And stay tuned with the museum. There's all kinds of exciting things well beyond that, with more exciting STEM stuff going on too, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a huge facility dealing with that, not just focusing on 5th graders with the star base and what have you, but we're also going to have the Society of Experimental Test Pilots teaching classes there to youth to get them involved in that. There's all kinds of great things going to happen. So stay in touch with us. Check our website on base for all the latest news and what have you. We don't have a newspaper anymore, but that's all electronic, so that's even better for you guys because you don't have to get the hard paper. You can go online and check out all the news and what have you. We also have a Facebook page as well that has a lot of history stuff. For any aviation buffs, check into our Facebook page and you can see what happened in history and on this day, every day of the week. So it's pretty awesome stuff we got going.
So just out of curiosity, in October, if we set up a one-day tour for folks that live in Rosamond, would any of you be interested in participating in that?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Right now, we generally do not have any tours, but I would say that's special for the communities in the local area, especially the folks that don't necessarily get to come to base all that.
Can I make a suggestion
Yes,
with
ma'am.
that? That you work with the school district so they can send out flyers to all the parents and students?
Okay, that sounds good, because we're talking to Desert High School on the base, but certainly we definitely want to talk to the entire district. So, yes, ma'am.
Would you work with like PTA as well, like a school PTA?
We do that all the time with other schools, so yeah, absolutely. But feeds after the definitely.
Yeah, that's me.
Anything else? All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.